spending a lot of time at Johnny's lately, because her letters to me at school always talked about her adventures at the place. She'd recruited our mutual friend Dana for her missions while I was away, but I'd been there with her a bunch of times myself, if for no other reason than it was a fun place to hang out. And now, she wanted to head there to play Jersey Chaser. It was my first night home from college, on leave for Christmas break. I still had unpacking to do, and after a 4-hour drive, I wasn't much in the mood to play wing woman for my friend. I'd called Casey soon after I got in, under the mistaken delusion that she would be content to just come over and watch a movie or something. I was excited to see her, and I couldn't care less what we did so long as we were together. But it was Friday night, and she was not only astounded that I wanted to stay in, but insistent that we hit the bar. She wouldn't take no for an answer. The thing was, I'd just come from Party Central. I was in my freshman year at Penn State. It's not as though I indulged my inner wild child every minute or anything, but there was no escaping that atmosphere even when a girl like me went out of her way to avoid it. Let me be clear here. It's not that I was antisocial. I had lots of friends and managed to get out amongst the living on a fairly regular basis. I just didn't major in partying the way some other kids did. That mindset went out the window whenever Casey came to visit. She never went away to school, a fact which she bemoaned at every opportunity. Because of that, she'd visited me on campus quite a bit, and when she did, I knew she expected me to put my boogie shoes on. And when she wasn't out road-tripping to Pennsylvania, she was waiting for me to come home to continue the party here. Basically, there was no way to get out of going to Johnny's tonight. I hauled myself off my bed and started to get ready. I grabbed a quick shower, then debated what to wear. It was the first day of winter, but the weather was fairly mild, not cold enough to require a pair of jeans. Johnny's was always so hot and stuffy anyway. I threw on a black miniskirt and a stretchy V-neck top that displayed my Y necklace to perfection. Pairing such a borderline skimpy outfit with my knee-high black boots was a bit out of my comfort zone, but they looked really cute, so I went for it. Besides, if I knew anything about the kinds of girls that went to Johnny's, I figured I'd fit right in. I switched out my huge satchel purse for my black wristlet, just packing the necessities. Fake ID? Check. Lipstick? Check. Cash? Probably not enough. Casey was due any minute, and I didn't want to hear her gripe about having to stop at the Mac machine. I went into my parents' room and swiped $20 out of the cash box my father kept in his nightstand drawer, replacing it with a signed IOU. Dad was always pretty cool about letting me borrow money, provided I could account for it and pay him back in a timely fashion. I wasn't exactly raking in the millions at my coffee shop job near campus, but I normally made enough to fund a decent social life. By the time I finished getting ready and Casey picked me up, we didn't roll into Johnny's until after 11. The smell of the night air was crisp and smoky, with only the slightest chill. Kind of weird for December in New Jersey, but I wasn't going to complain. I pulled my leather jacket a little tighter around myself as we made our way across the parking lot. One step inside the front door, my ears practically exploded from the noise. Johnny's was a huge bar, but on the nights when the Devils had a win, it was packed, wall to wall. We sliced through the dark, hazy room, trying not to lose one another, unable to hear ourselves think over the blaring music. Johnny's was a peanut shell on the floor type of club, and I almost twisted an ankle on my way across the crowded room to the bar. I was usually much better thought out than to wear spiky heels to this place. We got a couple beers and managed to nab a table on the edge of the ruckus, in the raised platform area near the dance floor. The brass rails that surrounded it turned that section of the club into a giant playpen. Fitting, because the people contained within it normally acted like toddlers. A few of the players were right nearby, whooping it up and toasting their win. I recognized some of them, but even if I didn't, it would have been easy to pick the NHL guys out from the crowd. All you had to do was look for a random pocket of squealing girls and